The air is crackling with anticipation across global currency markets as breaking developments suggest an unprecedented pivot in the future of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. Traders, analysts, and individual investors alike are on edge, eyes glued to screens, as the ripple of what looks to be an imminent redemption or revaluation escalates into what may be one of the most astonishing financial stories unfolding in recent memory. Moments ago, reports began filtering in that official machinations within central banking circles are signaling a breakthrough in long-standing speculation, and that the redemption process, if verified, could be underway now. Sources close to the matter, though not publicly named, have conveyed that preliminary protocols have been activated behind closed doors. These procedures, which appear to include the mobilization of regulatory frameworks, targeted communications with commercial banking partners, and early-stage logistical preparations, are being described as the first tangible actions toward redeeming vastly undervalued national currencies. The language used by these insiders is careful yet charged: redemption in process, pre-launch protocols executed, authorization in motion. For months, speculative chatter has swirled through online forums and message channels. But now, for the first time, there is the sense of real machinery beginning to engage. It is precisely this shift from rumor to system activation that has triggered a surge in attention and urgency. Across trading floors and foreign exchange desks, the mood has morphed from curiosity into a palpable tension. Positions are being stringently monitored, and risk management protocols are being adjusted in real time. Veteran currency traders are reporting sudden volumes and unusual purchase interest in thinly traded instruments tied to the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. In otherwise hushed back offices, whispered conversations echo. Is this merely a signal event, or the culmination of years of ebbs and flows now reaching a dramatic crest? Participants are framing it as the latter, caution mingling with the adrenaline of what could be a rare alignment of geopolitical, fiscal, and financial forces converging toward redemption. On the airwaves and financial news platforms, analysts are frantically parsing every shred of data: official statements, off-record remarks, even unsent drafts of communiques, looking for confirmation. Every document leak, every mid-level leak, every cryptic announcement is being dissected, cross-referenced, and weighed. A handful of economists surveyed off-record echo a similar sense. They do not yet call it confirmed, but they are now drawing clearer lines. The redemption, they say, is within the tools of institutions now. The evidence lies in the orchestration. Permissions appear to have been granted, preliminary clearing arrangements appear to have been ticked off, and logistical corridors, often months in planning, appear to have kicked into gear. That is not definitive confirmation, but it is an awakening of procedures previously dormant. Around midday, several high-volume interbank desks reported exceptional behaviors. One trading floor confirmed that instructions are circulating, not from frontline tellers, but from upper regulatory escalation, to prepare for potential conversion windows. A second major bank's treasury desk, asked if they are gearing up for redemption operations, said only, "We are in readiness," while a third said they are holding until significant public notice or coordination signals. Taken together, this mosaic of activity is being interpreted as indicative that the gears of redemption are indeed turning. Investors and speculators, especially those who have been waiting for a return to parity, or at least a significant uplift in the value of the dinar and dong, are now dusting off old spreadsheets and recalculating possible outcomes. Social media, once dominated by skepticism and warnings of fraud, has transformed. Where once the dinar was mocked as a Ponzi-tinged blunder for the unsavvy, talk has shifted to timelines, eligibility, caps, institutional controls, and official portal rollouts. The tone has changed from pleading to watchful hope. Meanwhile, financial commentators emphasize caution. They remind viewers plainly. Speculation has run wild. Redemption scenarios have been floated for years and have often re-entered rumor cycles only to disappear. The difference now, they argue, is the nature of the activity. It is not just hype, but the stirrings of operational readiness. This feels different, one sober commentator said earlier, because we're seeing evidence of coordination, of blueprint execution. It is not confirmation, but it is signal. That duality, signaling without confirming, has created a high-wire dynamic. Institutions are preparing. Individuals are hoping. Regulators remain tight-lipped, but opportunistic whispers are multiplying. The coming hours, perhaps even minutes, could reveal the truth one way or the other. Some market watchers suggest we may see preliminary redemption windows open to a limited class of holders or financial intermediaries. Others caution that the process may first manifest as redenomination or as an adjustment in valuation that is more subtle, still powerful for those positioned, but not a headline shock. Nevertheless, urgency is the operative word. Treasury departments across several mid-sized banks are reportedly locked in evening calls. Compliance units are drafting contingency workflows. Vaults and logistics planners are updating projections for note exchanges or asset movements. Meanwhile, support lines and advisories are anticipating inquiries, whether from clients who bought into speculation or from institutions with exposure. On the ground in Baghdad and Hanoi, local sentiment is equally poised. Anecdotal chatter suggests that some expatriate communities and regional operators have been alerted, in cryptic terms, that redemption windows may open soon. Public statements from central banks remain guarded, citing ongoing monetary and fiscal evaluations. But those journals are being read through new lenses by informed observers. All this weighs heavily on price. While spot market valuations have not yet spiked into absurd levels, the forward curves are stretched. Markets are trading in anticipation. The cost to deliver on hypothetical redemption positions, should they be honored, is soaring. That in turn feeds the feedback loop of speculation. Analysts warn, if the window opens and is supported by liquidity, valuations could shift violently. If instead it stalls or is delayed, those same valuations could snap back, or worse, erode as disbelief resurfaces. The stakes could not be higher. In boardrooms of institutions that have tolerated small footnotes of exposure to these currencies, serious discussions are underway. Some are arranging to offload positions. Others are doubling down, believing that this time the narrative is real. Insurers and risk carriers are setting conditional provisions in case of shock movement. Hedge funds are dialing up models. Macro plays are in motion. Amid the tension, one thing has become absolutely clear. Whether or not redemption formally begins, the psychological equilibrium has shifted. What was once fringe chatter is now central market theater. Looking back a few years ago, many would have dismissed this as fad. Not anymore. A legitimate battle is being waged between liquidity, policy, anticipation, and regulation, and the outcome is now in the hands of institutional actors, acting under the cover of discretion. If, as some expect, a limited redemption period is indeed opening, questions abound. Who qualifies? That list, if leaked or published, will dominate headlines. Will it be only government-level counterparties? Certain sovereign accounts? Or will individual retail holders finally have a window to exchange? The logistics are daunting. The clearinghouses, delivery protocols, KYC procedures, all must be functional, secure, scalable. The fact that plans are being drawn and frameworks appear to be activated is a signal of seriousness. Yet caution again. Historical precedents offer both promise and precedent for disappointment. Across other low-value currencies around the world, talk of redemption has happened before, only to dissipate as policy stalled or funding dried up. Experts remind audiences of the difference between being in discussion and entering execution. Right now, the markers suggest movement toward execution, but the pivot point remains in ambiguity. Public notice is still absent. Broad financial platforms have yet to affirm availability or trading readiness. Central banks have not declared opening. Yet, so where does that leave us? There is real urgency, real activity, real speculation, but also real unknowns. Institutions being alerted, protocols being drafted, markets shifting in anticipation. These are not idle developments. They represent an operational environment that is waking up. Whether it leads to redemption or loses momentum is the $10 million question, but one that may be answered in the coming hours or days. As we continue to watch this story develop, it is crucial for participants, large and small, to remain vigilant, to brace for rapid shifts, to verify through trusted channels, and to manage exposure responsibly. This is not conventional financial news. This could be a turning point for two currency narratives years in the making. The The spotlight is bright, the countdown is on. For now, we must stay tuned, stay rational, and prepare for what may unfold. We'll keep monitoring official communications, interbank indicators, and movement in derivative instruments that could shed light on the reality of redemption. If evidence emerges of a formal opening of redemption or a completed revaluation, it will be seismic. Until then, the world watches, speculation intensifies, and the silent machinery of central banking continues its hush-quiet hum. This is a moment pregnant with possibility and risk, one that could reset expectations around undervalued currencies, or one that could remind us how fragile speculative cycles can be. Stay alert, stay informed, and